This video will provide strategies to help you read and understand empirical peer-reviewed articles. Here's a sample article, More Than Fake News. We'll discuss how to read an article like this strategically. Don't try to read it beginning to end. Before we read, it helps to know the most common structure for empirical articles and each section's purposes. We'll go through the sections of this paper in the order you would read them, which is not the same order in which they appear in the paper. The common sections as they appear in the paper include abstract, introduction and/or literature review, methods, results, and discussion or conclusion. In some articles, the sections are named differently or they contain multiple subsections, but they should follow this general order. However, we recommend reading these sections out of order. Abstract first to get the big picture, then discussion conclusion, introduction literature review, and maybe methods or results if needed. The abstract at the beginning is a short one-paragraph summary of the article. If that sounds interesting, jump to the end. The discussion or conclusion gives you the so what of this research. Why does it matter? What are the takeaways for practitioners? How does this research advance understanding in the field? Make notes or highlight significant statements here because this is most often what you'll be citing in your own work. This is the original material from this researcher. To get more background, next, go back to the introduction and lit review. These give more context for this author's work and explain how it is different from previous research. In this example, the authors don't use the term literature review, but we can tell this is the lit review because it has many citations to related research. The authors here instead use subheadings to talk about other researchers' studies of fake news and how it's used in a political campaign. The introduction or the literature review will also identify the study's research questions. In this example, there are 3. Make notes or highlight here the citations of previous researchers that might be relevant to your work. In your own writing, you don't want to cite from this section. If something seems interesting here, go to the references list to get the full citation or link to the other researcher and cite directly from that previous work. The method section is most useful for understanding their study design so that you can evaluate it. Methods might include descriptions of how they collected, measured, and analyzed the data. The results section is useful if you want to see all the numbers and data and the results of the researcher's analysis. This section often has statistical formulas and data tables for quantitative research. If it's qualitative research, the results are more often descriptions. These 2 sections can be very dense, so use any tables and figures here to help you interpret the numbers. Some other big picture tips include don't try to read it all in one sitting, and use other, easier sources to help you understand this harder one. Define unfamiliar terms with an encyclopedia in your subject area, for example. These skills are all foundational to making sense of an empirical article. Thanks for watching, and please reach out if you have any questions.